So it has been 2 years since I was diagnosed with depression. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've never seen my face before, congratulations, now you have. I got a coffee, got a bare face, and I got some makeup, which means we are going to get ready together and I'm going to talk about my mental health journey. I think that the target audience for this video could be just about anybody. Someone who's struggling with their mental health, maybe just starting out on their journey, someone whose loved one is on a mental health journey of their own. I think that this could benefit a lot of people to know what to expect, know what they're about to get into, and what that timeline looks like. Let's hop right in, I guess. Obviously, I have a cold, so I'm so sorry if my voice is like so annoying to listen to. I'm on to maybe my second week with this. We're working on it. We are working on it. I think we're nearing the end. I really do. All right, so about 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression my freshman year of college. And you know what? I think that it started a lot earlier than that, but it took me a long time to not come to terms with it, but come to terms with it and go through that accepting process. For some background, I feel really guilty sometimes about not my diagnosis, but my feelings and my emotions and my struggles. And most of that stems from the fact that I am fully aware that I am so gracious to have the life that I have the family that I have. I don't have to worry about my access to food or shelter. And I am so lucky to have that. And I know that there are people who don't have that same feeling of comfort and steadiness in their lives. It took me a long time, and I'm talking probably years, to accept the fact that this is a chemical imbalance and not necessarily about your surroundings or your situation. Now, I fully believe that the situation that you are in can amplify and have some effects on your mental health, obviously. We've seen that in so many cases. But at the end of the day, it is a chemical imbalance, and you can't choose or choose not to have this problem. So I think I felt really guilty before finally speaking out about the feelings that I had. And I think that in the back of my mind, I was worried that when I opened up about the thoughts that were running through my brain, that maybe my family would think that it was their fault, and I didn't want them to have any level of guilt. So, I think the first level is acceptance. I really do. And that's for everybody. Not even just the person who is feeling these things, but the people around that person. Accepting that this is something that they feel and we are going to help them through it. I am really lucky that I have a family who didn't dismiss those feelings and allowed me to give me the environment, I guess, to be able to speak on those feelings openly and not have to feel them alone. I also am very lucky that I have access to medical help as well. I probably should have started this video with like a little bit of a trigger warning. We are going to be talking about, obviously, depression and mental health, but I also am going to be slightly, not deeply talking, but slightly speaking on some medications and I don't know, things like that. So I did speak virtually to a doctor, and they were not a psychiatrist by any means. They were just like a family doctor. I am not the first person in my family to struggle with a mental illness or anything of that sort. So my mom actually has experience with, having a child who is seeking help. So we kind of went through the same process that family member had gone through with my mom. We did like a little FaceTime call. Like I was in the car and I was really, really excited to speak about my story and just get all the thoughts that I was having out. And I did not have that experience really. When I went to talk to the doctor, she was really just keen on giving me a diagnosis and prescribing a medication to me, and then she didn't really want to hear my story, and there's nothing against her. I know she probably has a very busy day. She hears this all the time. Let's just give her the dosage and I'll be on my way. But I was so crushed by this. I was so ready to finally speak to somebody who had an understanding about what had happened to me and where these feelings came from, and she just wasn't the one that was gonna listen. My dosage at the beginning was 25 milligrams of my antidepressant medication, and I was really excited about this, and I sort of thought that as soon as I got this medication, everything would just magically fix itself, you know, iron itself out. And my mom is also excited because 25 milligrams isn't a lot. It's enough that we thought, you know, this will help me feel better and navigate these emotions a little bit easier without completely changing who I am. And 25 milligrams in the future will be easy to get off of. I won't really have to do like some kind of slow getting off of it because there's only 25 milligrams. However, I wasn't really in a healthy environment at the time, so even if 25 milligrams was enough, which it wasn't, I wasn't in the right environment. So there were still all of these factors just like weighing against me. I feel like my voice sounds so annoying. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure how long I was on 25 milligrams. Not long. We quickly went up to 50, and from there 75, and then 100. So 100 is what I'm on now, 100 milligrams of my antidepressant, and it is perfect. I really think that the combination of me being in a healthy environment surrounded by a good group of people and that medication really helped me feel better. I do think it's a combination though. I think it takes both in order to reach the end of the darkness, reach the light in a sense. And pretty much I remember thinking that things were magically going to immediately solve themselves. As soon as I started on this medication, I was like, okay, the chemical imbalance will be fixed, and I will be fixed, and everything will be great, and I will be back to my normal, happy-go-lucky self. It's 2 years later. And I think I'm finally back to my happy-go-lucky self. Now listen, there is equally as much of struggles because I have gone from being in such a deep, dark place with myself to now I have to navigate the idea that having highs and lows is normal. It's a normal person emotion, and every low is not a depressive episode. It's not a depressive low. That's something that I have had to relearn and teach myself is okay. Now don't get me wrong, I definitely still have depressive episodes here and there. They're so much more rare than they used to be. And I feel so lucky because I know that there are people that don't have access to that help. And listen, I truly think that without my antidepressant, I would not be who I am. And that sounds bad, but I mean, like, I would still be in a bad place. Even a year ago, I was not in a good place. I wasn't. And it's crazy because even at my best, like, I am the best I've been probably since I was 15, 16. I haven't been my normal self. I felt like I always had this puppeteer controlling me in a way. Actually, I feel like that's like the perfect metaphor. I had this thing above me, just constantly controlling my feelings, everything I did, what I could and couldn't do, where I could and couldn't go, who I could and couldn't be with. And now I'm making those choices for myself. I think that's because of the medicine that I am on. I do hope one day that I won't have to be on any medication. Obviously, that's like the end goal. That is not in the near future. And I can say that because, listen, I forget to take the medicine some days. I really do. Some days I just fall asleep, and the next day will be a bad day. And that just shows me that I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get off the medicine, and it's only been 2 years. So I'm not in any kind of rush. I'm only 20. I'm literally only 20 years old. I used to struggle quite a lot with triggers, and I definitely still do even 2 years into this journey. I have removed as many potential triggers from my life as possible. Now, there are some things that you just cannot avoid, and I don't want to avoid them. An example of this is my boyfriend. That sounds bad. My boyfriend is not a trigger for me. He's a year younger than me, so my entire freshman year he was still in high school. I have very bad memories of that school. That school is a very large trigger for me. So for that whole year, it was really hard because in a sense, this person that I loved felt like a trigger. We're past that because he's graduated. He's not at that school, which thank God. My brother still is there. I avoid going there and like physically being in that place, but I do know that my brother graduates next year and I will have to be at the graduation, and I know that's going to be a hard moment, but I know that if I'm this good 2 years in, imagine how good I'll be 3 years in. 3.5 years in, and I'm very optimistic about that experience. Last year I competed at NAM Nationals, and I know at the end of my NAM Nationals vlog I said that there was a lot I wanted to talk about, and I still haven't talked about it on the internet because I was waiting for my reign to be over as Miss Pennsylvania. It is over. I gave up my title in August. I have a state pageant vlog as well. NAM Nationals, when I'm recording this, is in like 2 weeks, and I think I want to watch the finale for teen, and that is going to be quite a large trigger for me. I still want to dish, I really do, but NAM is like the love of my life. We have like such a relationship. It's been, one of the biggest factors in creating who I am as a person. But my experience at NAM Nationals last year was a really hard one. And I know that a large portion of that was on me. In fact, most of that was on me. But I do wonder if I was not having any struggles, if the experience would have felt different. The amount of pressure I put on myself in so many avenues of my life, but especially that one, was very toxic. It was detrimental. And I am not doing pageants anymore. I think that says what it needs to say about the whole thing. It taught me, without getting upset, I'm going to say this. It taught me that because of my mental state, even a very healthy time removed, I am not able to do pageants anymore. And that is so hard to say out loud and admit that there's this thing that I'm letting it hold me back from doing this thing that I love and have loved my entire life, and I'm so grateful for and thankful for and everything. I can't do it. The pain it causes me, the cons outweigh the pros at this point in my life, and that is so sad. It's a shame. It really is a shame. I don't know. I feel like I'm making this video and it's kind of a ramble, but life is crazy. It's crazy. And I just don't think, I think we put so much pressure on ourselves for this, like, you only live once. Make it the best life. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Please do not put that pressure on yourself, because you're gonna end up stressing yourself out and making this not a good life. I'm gonna finish my makeup and get dressed, and I'll be right back. I am so embarrassed because it just took me, I kid you not, an hour to pick out an outfit, and it is mediocre at best. You don't even want to see the floor right now. Guys, I have been in such a fashion rut, just wearing, like, throwing on a pair of jeans and throwing on a sweater every single day. And listen, like, I love those outfits, but I feel so boring. So I overthink it and I stress myself out. So at least we're not wearing that today. Oh, we're turning. Okay. It's because this is what my mic looks like right now. I just want to finish this video saying I just want this to be your reminder that recovery isn't linear, and you can't do it for other people. There's this misconception, even like when I was first starting to heal and grow and learn, I told myself that I wanted to get better for my family, and although that sounds like a great thing to do, it ends up instilling guilt in you for not recovering in a particular time period. It makes you feel a lot of guilt. So you need to do it for yourself. You need to want to do it for yourself in order to make that happen. I guess that's kind of it. So it's been 2 years, and although I thought it would take a lot shorter, it didn't. And everybody's road looks a little bit different. So you can't look at my journey and be like, okay, so she was better in 2 years. So if I'm not better in 2 years, I'm broken and unfixable. That's not how it works. Sadly, not everything is the same for everybody. Like I mentioned earlier, I had struggles with my doctor, like not feeling seen really. And then I got a new doctor and she is so much better. She's still not a psychiatrist or a therapist or anything. There's that to keep in mind. Like if you want someone to really talk to, I recommend getting a therapist. I've never done therapy, but she is just much better at listening and making me feel seen and heard, and like she actually cares about me getting better for me and not for her as a doctor to say that she fixed this person. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to use the word fix because you're not broken. Yeah, you're not broken and nothing is beyond repair. So just remember that. Anyways, I really need to go. And that is it for today's video. I don't know if you needed to hear this, but it felt like a good time to speak on this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe for more just like this one. I'm so sorry about my voice again. If you really like this one, make sure you follow me on all of my other social medias, at Cassidy Lee Quinn on TikTok, at Cassidy Lee Quinn on Instagram, and go shop my closet at Cassidy Lee on Depop. There will be a lot of new clothes on there soon. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you around. Bye!